called the Violet Flame. I'm going to change the name. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am live here on Rumble and YouTube. So bear with me as I go through the two of them. But yes, I do have a Rumble channel. And right now, the Rumble channel is called World News Tarot, but I am changing it to the Violet Flame. Go ahead and put in the comments whether you're watching this on Rumble or on YouTube, if you can hear me, if the lighting's okay. Let me not do that one. Okay, so will tariffs work? A clairvoyance perspective. I've connected to spirit concerning certain things, but not yet for tariffs. I've asked for the information to come out on this live. I do have some information coming in as I was pulling about the global ascension shift. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Water. And this is telling me, it's like I saw pages in the book flipping past. Like everyone's personal Akashic records are being flipped away from their past. Like their past is no longer completely affecting them in that area. And it's almost like doors are being closed, books are being closed, chapters are being closed. Everything about your life is being closed because the universe is shifting. Let me tell you, the amount of people that have been going through doors being closed, changes in their career, especially people that are maybe not of the highest intention in the workplace, in their careers, and they've always been self-centered. They've always been kind of trying to manipulate the world. Doors are closing for these people faster than I can imagine. I can't even begin to tell you how many people have been acting in selfishness and corruption, and all of a sudden, people are turning against them. We had one company shut down. A friend of mine works for a media company that actually is the U.S. media for the Middle East. So the U.S. slanted media for the Middle East, funded by Voice of America. Well, this company goes belly up when Carrie Lake is put as an oversight for media. She was put by the Mr. T administration as an oversight and a certain advisor of how to clean up the media in America. And she advised that the funding for this organization, I won't mention the name, their grant be immediately cut. Many people lost their jobs without severance pay. It is questionable. And I saw my friend go through the shock. Even though she is a Mr. T supporter, she goes through the shock. What was amazing is that many of the people in the company, at least several of them, began praising Mr. T and criticizing the CEO because he, in his corrupt agenda, was so focused on getting him what he wanted, he wasn't taking care of the people. He wasn't taking care of his employees. So instead of the corruption sort of being spewed onto Carrie Lake and Mr. T, it turned inward to the corruption of the organization. This has been the style of implosion that's been going, books being closed because of past actions, and only those who have been centered in doing what's right with good intentions are going to move forward positively. So that is a major shift going on right now. Doors being closed, the Akashic records, your past. We also have humanity's souls moving away and ascending, a major shift of people moving away from their past and into ascension, spiritual growth, the rapture-like Christ consciousness. So we're in a good place, but there's a lot of endings. Now we're going to pull on the soul collective scale of things. But first, I want to talk about a little bit of a rebranding that I'm going to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll share my screen. Rumble, I will try to get to you here in a minute. I want to show you my new website, The Violet Flame. And I have private readings if you'd like to book an appointment, clairvoyant workshops, Violet Flame activations where I do Corey Klein does sound baths, and I do guided meditations where we activate the Violet Flame of Saint Germain and Christ consciousness. And then Violet Flame Tarot. Let me make sure that you all can see this here. The Violet Flame Tarot is actually a membership site that I am starting. And this is because my YouTube has been a little bit wonky. I almost deleted it here. But here's my membership site. It's time review the world events from the perspective of higher consciousness. And I heard this quote from Spirit: manifest that your world leaders will allow their higher selves to be their source of guidance. We're going to have uncensored live streams here, down the rabbit hole questions. We can ask questions that will not be deleted on YouTube. This will be a private channel only for those who are signed up. You can join for the year or for the month. It's $9 a month or $80 for a year. And this is just going to give us the freedom on Wednesday nights. And well, the actual membership is going to go live on Sundays. And of course, you will always be able to watch some on my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel, but most of it is going to be on the deep rabbit hole questions will be on, of course, my membership here. And for those of you, let me go ahead and share this to Rumble. You can find me at violetflame.net. And this might not support, actually. Let's go ahead and share. All right. violetflame.net/global shift, or just go to violetflame.net. And there is my Violet Flame YouTube, the Global Shift Forecast, and there is my details. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and I do have the links in the description or the chat as well. Okay, now, Spirit, what can you tell us about the global shift? Now we're going to go into the soul ascension here. How are the souls of humanity doing in their ascension progress? Please subscribe to my channels. Go ahead and find me at World News Tarot. I will be changing it to the Violet Flame here in a moment. Okay, soul's ascension. A lot of people are feeling out in the cold. I'm hearing the words, they feel like they don't have a home. They feel like they have been lied to. They've been misused. The mistrust here is huge over people on the global scale. The mistrust is huge. Feeling like they've been abused, feeling like they've been left out in the cold, especially by leadership. What else can you tell me, Spirit? I'm feeling the heaviness and the weight of being left out. Their intuition had always been telling them something was not right. But now they're actually beginning to connect to their intuitiveness. They're beginning to realize that their intuition was correct and that some things were not as they were told. A lot of people's intuition here, their gifts, and I believe intuition is the first gift that's awakening within humanity. That first gift of like, wait a minute, something's off, or something's wrong, or I'm not quite seeing the full picture. I need to know more. I believe that is the first gift that awakens in humanity. I heard the most beautiful and amazing story from a mystic and a psychic who travels to the galactic realm. Now you take this as it resonates. It's Carrie Kay. You can find her on YouTube. Carrie Kay was invited in a meditation by her galactic guides to go into a bubble of space where there was an agreement with the Anunnaki, or what I would call the dark elite spiritual astral negative beings that have been keeping humanity in a slave state or in a state of bondage and manipulation within the matrix. In this bubble, it was the forces of light and the forces of darkness and manipulation. The dark ones had refused to ascend. They still didn't want to ascend. Their most scary fear was that they would connect to light. So they actually created a bubble of space and invited the forces of light in. What Carrie Kay said that was fascinating is that forces of darkness had manipulated for so long, but because humanity was ascending into light, it actually was kicking backwards into the matrix and affecting the dark entities. And the darker astral beings that were there were actually being kicked back because they were still trying to manipulate humanity. But too many humans were connecting to their intuition and inner light that it was kicking back and actually causing like a reflux or a ricochet into the dark entity astral realm. And the Anunnaki and the Dark Ones told the beings of light, we have to leave the earth, and would be making their exit. Take it as it resonates. But this is what I'm seeing here with the intuition and the gifts waking up. They're beginning to realize humanity's not been as supported as they thought they once were. It's a major wake up for humanity. Good news, good news, good news. Okay, Spirit, what else can you tell us about humanity's soul ascension? A lot of heavy feelings of despair, regret, pain, fear, negative feelings. Now, what they don't know is that there is hope. These cups represent good things ahead for them, but they're looking at what's falling apart. A lot of humanity in the collective are looking at everything that's collapsing, and it's causing a lot of despair. But this right here with these cups behind this being, I'm hearing the words golden age, good things coming. It's just a tight spot that humanity's in. What can you tell me, Spirit? Okay, blockages to their higher self. Okay, many of them have realized that they've been blocked from their intuition, that they haven't seen the truth for what it really is. They're realizing they were blocked, Two of Swords, from their higher self, the Hermit. Now, are they consciously aware that their higher self was blocked? No. Or what is their higher self? No. But again, it's that gift of intuition, that inner knowing of something's not right. Okay. So it's a major turning point for humanity. They're turning the page on how they see the world. That's good news for the souls of humanity. Spirit, what can you tell me now about the world structures, the world shifts? If you're watching this on Rumble or YouTube, thank you so much. If you have some questions about the tariffs, we will be going into that. So go ahead and put your questions in the comments. I will be taking them here soon when I ask Spirit several questions about that. Spirit, what can you tell me about the shifts of the world's global structure, systems, the evolution of the world? Earth, this is the being of the earth. Earth is releasing a lot of negative slush. I'm seeing the electromagnetic static that was produced by electricity, 5G. I'm seeing towers. I'm seeing almost like a mesh of a grid surrounding Earth. And it was very controlling, oppressive to Mother Earth. It was constrictive. This could be chemtrail type stuff. This could be 5G towers. This is the internet frequencies, the EMFs. Earth is releasing and cleansing herself from a lot of the EMF activity that have been surrounding her like a grid. And I also believe that have been shutting down her ley lines, her own electrical beautiful flow of chi, her own chi. Four of Water, something's incoming. Okay, we have an offer now coming to the structures of the earth. This is something some corporations, some nations, some businesses are seeing this, some international communities are seeing this, and some are not. Something's coming to the earth plane. Some are connected to this shift and some are not. Spirit, what is this shift that's happening? So the Mother Earth and the EMF rays is one topic Spirit wanted to bring in. I believe with the Schumann resonance and the flares and I know the Earth has been going through a lot of pulsating in her internal energy. So that's being cleansed. She's just cleaning herself. If you're feeling heavy or you're getting like drainage or detoxing or exhaustion, you could be feeling some of Mother Earth's cleansing. So I'm going to take that message and put this to the side. Now another message is coming in where Spirit is saying the international community is being faced with a major offer, a major shift, but not everyone is seeing it or accepting it. And this is like, I'm seeing it coming in almost like a cloud, almost like a bulldozer. Something's coming in energetically. And the systems and the nations and the structures of the world, some are not accepting it. I'm seeing 3/4. What is this? This is for the good of humanity. It's a call, a rising up. This is the original judgment card in tarot. Now in the center, it's also a 3 of air, which is the 3 of swords, a betrayal. So the international community is being faced with betrayals, but they're not all of them are aware of how deeply they either have been or are about to be betrayed. 2 of fire, it's a choice point, an opportunity, an opportunity to move forward. Once again, I'm reminded that this choice point for structures, nations, organizations, corporations, and the international communities, this is a choice point. It's good. What is the Spirit? 10 of air. Page of fire. This is fake CGI manipulation. 10 of air is laws, policies, but a release or an ending of them. 9 of water, a desire. This was an imposition. Someone imposed a fake scenario on the nations, and it had to do with international trade or international agreements, some sort of agreements, policies. The air would be documents, policies, trade agreements. And I'm seeing this is huge. It's on the international scale, but something was faked. This could be the stock market, or this could be, let's get further clarity. Something was faked. What is this? And remember, this is a backstabbing betrayal that the nations are not all aware of. All of them are not aware of. Okay, justice. I'm hearing the words illegal when I saw this card. Something was illegal. 2 of air, something was blocked. Finances, money. 10 of earth, banks, people. And this is the card of the people, though. The card of national economies. The card of banks, private banks, banks run by their own sovereign countries. So this is the sovereignty of financial stability was blocked illegally. So I'm getting the stock market, the trades, what's coming up, coming in like a cloud. I see it coming in like a cloud to the international community where they're being presented. They're being offered, just like she's being offered an opportunity to see something. And she's got multiple pearls in her hands, but she's offering only one thing. That means not everybody is going to see it, or she's only offering certain bits and pieces. This is telling me that the revelation of manipulated illegal trades and tariffs, and how an elite group have desired to control it. This is being presented on a world scale. Basically, what's happening is every nation is having to face, someone is trying to manipulate my nation, and it's all coming up to the surface. And every nation is going to have to eventually accept the fact that there have been illegal and manipulative practices in the international trade community. And that's what's happening with the tariffs. That's what's happening with the dollar and the currency, the digital community. People are having to face the change. Whether it's good or not, we haven't asked Spirit yet. But the change is causing the international community to finally face things and not just accept the way they have always been. Illegal, manipulative stocks, trades. That is what's being revealed to the nations. Okay, so that's what the world is facing right now on an evolutionary scale. What will they do with it? If you have any questions about that, go ahead and put them in the chat. Let me go ahead and check my other. All right. Okay, so now we're going to get into tariffs, and we're actually going to get into possibly some questions about Mr. T. Spirit, what can you tell us about tariffs? I don't even want to frame the question in any way. It seems like Spirit has already been talking to us about the international trades. What can you tell us about tariffs, even in my limited capacity? Will they work? Will they be profitable? What is going on? Nine of Earth. I'm just going to tell you what the card means, and then I'll tell you messages because I want you to be honest here. And I want you to use your own intuition. Nine of Earth, financial independence. Six of Air, though, clarifying it, is a moving away. So is this a moving toward or a moving to financial independence? We need more clarity. The Magician card, strong, intense energy coming in. It's definitely an alchemical force that's meant to transform something. I'm seeing Saint Germain. I'm seeing the Ascended Masters here. It's almost like they introduced it, or as if these tariffs was a possible blueprint in order to effect intense change. But we still need clarity on this is a good thing or a bad thing. Five of Air, there's currently a lot of conflict on it. Of course, we know there is a lot of conflict on it. Now, here's the guidance in the future. Queen of Water. This is a system. The Queen of Water speaks of systems, how things flow throughout the world. So let's find out about how this will affect the systems of the world or the flow of international trade. We do have financial independence. The Fool, a new opportunity, a new beginning. Is this moving toward financial independence or moving away? That's my question, because that's what's come up in the cards. As a clairvoyant, you want to be very, very objective. Check out my workshops and my mentorship programs. If you want to either learn cards or become a clairvoyant yourself, you have to do it with initiation into accurate reading, and your ego has to get out of it. So I have to be very careful not to interpret the cards from my own lens, but to read it and to flow with Spirit. The Emperor card. So I'm asking Spirit, is this moving away from financial independence or moving to? We do have a new beginning, and this feels like a worldwide change, a definitely inevitable. Then we have the Emperor card, which comes up as the corporate structures. So Spirit wants to first address corporate structures and the financial change for that. Justice. So what Spirit's telling me here is it will not be financially good for any corporations that have been illegal. And that's how Spirit works. Spirit doesn't just give us the answer we want. It reads the energy. And when it comes to major corporations, businesses, systems of this world, it's bringing justice. Whether we consider that good or bad, or the company, the business, the corporation thinks it's good or bad, they might think it's financially unstable. They might be financially stripped, leaving financial security. The corporations will not, major corporations worldwide will not be financially stable among these tariffs. I'm just going to have to be honest. Something is definitely going to happen to the world scale where certain major controlling existing corporations will be shaky in their financial status because of these tariffs. Okay. What else do you want to tell me? How is it going to be for the national economies? For the people who go through with the tariffs, Spirit, what can you tell me about national economies? And Spirit wants me to pick it all up. National economies. So this is for nations wanting to come into their sovereign independence. National economies. Will tariffs work for nations? Page of Earth. This is their currency. This is the card of currency. Page of Fire. Fake. This is just the cards. I'm just giving you the cards right now. Fake, and this card describes this card. So fake currency, that's the way I read. And then this is King of Fire. The leaders of the world. The world leaders. Okay, what do you want to say? Agreements. Now we're asking about national currencies or national economies, and it's bringing up their currency. Underground currency, hidden, underground. So the world leaders are right now making deals, agreements, 2 of water, about the underpinning currencies. Let's look at balance, financial balance. So there's a lot of agreements going or being negotiated right now concerning currency. And that's what the tariffs are forcing nations to look at. It's just interesting that every nation, I feel, is beginning to evaluate, to look into their own financial status. Right now, there's like 7 major companies, nations that actually have a stronger currency than the US dollar. Let me go ahead and see if I can bring that up. The nations that currently have a stronger currency than the US dollar are, and here it is. Okay, Kuwait, and you can see it here. Kuwait, Bahraini, Omani, Jordan. Oh, these are the Kuwaitan dollar, the Kuwaiti dollar, the Bahrainian dinar, sorry, not dollar, dinar, and the Omani Ra'el, the Jordanian dinar, so Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Bahrain, the British pound, the Cayman dollar, Swiss franc, and the euro. Now, just to give you a reference, the British pound is $1.25. The euro is $1.04. The Jordanian dollar is $1.41. And the highest is the Kuwait dinar. Sorry, not dollar, dinar. $3.24. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As of right now, 8 currencies that are stronger than the US per the Bahrain Maze. So this is somewhere that I found online. Of course, you can do your own research. It could have changed by now, and it could be old data, but I saw this yesterday. So the currencies are being looked at, and I believe different world leaders are right now in negotiation over how much currency they actually have, asset-backed currency, and how they can balance it throughout the world. It's just interesting that this whole tariff business isn't even about imports and exports. It's all about national currencies. That's what this is forcing people to do. That's why I think I saw the image of like Saint Germain, like throwing this at the world to be like, you need to start looking at the truth of your economy. Stop considering and letting outside bankers dictate international trade. Instead, look, how strong is your currency? How strong is your economy? And that's what the tariffs are doing. It's a shakeup to cause nations to consider the truth of where they're really at. There's a desire here. So this is tapping into some of the strong, I'm seeing major world leaders, 5, 6, 7 of major nations, Swiss, France, I'm seeing China, the US. I'm seeing strong nations, Sweden, I'm seeing Sweden. I'm seeing some strong nations coming together in a secret. It's not being publicized on the media is what I mean by secret. Some sort of negotiation and a desire. What is this desire? 4 of Earth. So this is contained, controlled, or captured hidden currency, hidden money, controlled money. Ace of Earth, a new beginning with currency and money. This is economy. This is asset-backed currency. Okay. Messenger of air. Transportation. Movement. I believe that this could be saying that some of the Earth's, the leaders of the nations are actually looking to see how much currency has actually been withheld. So this is like the Fort Knox of the USA, or the gold that was recently found, I believe, in India or Turkey. There's different nations coming out with saying that they found a bunch of gold hidden, captured, or previously not released monies for their economy. This is a movement toward creating a new economy based on hidden or repressed currencies or actual assets. Hi, Shauna. Hola, hola. No worries, no worries. We're just talking about tariffs. It seems here, the 2 card pulls that I pulled, because I asked Spirit, what can you tell us about tariffs? It appears here in the first pull that, I can't remember the first pull, you have to go back, but this pull, this pull was saying the tariffs coming up was basically coming in and causing nations to look at their currencies, to look at their national economies. And the tariffs is being used by divine. It's a blueprint from some of the cosmic masters. That the whole tariff system, they knew it would shake up the earth. They knew it would make nations mad. They knew it would cause conflict, but it's causing all the nations to look at their economies. And right now there's actually 4 currencies that are stronger than the US dollar. Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, Jordan, British pound, Cayman, Swiss franc, and the euro. And the euro is the least strongest of them all, but it is $1.04. The British pound is $1.25. And of course, Kuwait is their dinar is equal to $3.24. So the US dollar is not completely strong, possibly as people think it is, but it's being evaluated. Okay. And leaders right now are in negotiation for evaluating their currencies. All right, Spirit, what can you tell us about the conflict between tariffs and the US and China? Okay. Right now, I believe China just made a huge ultimatum where they refused Boeing manufacturing for the airplane Boeing, and China refused to manufacture all of Boeing's airplanes because of the tariffs in retaliation of Mr. T. However, Mr. T is constantly saying he and President Xi are in good terms, that everything's going well. So I'm a little bit confused about this drama. Is it just media drama or is it legit drama? Spirit, what can you tell us about China, the USA concerning tariffs? What's the energy? What's the energy? And then we're going to look at what's the future, according as best as we can predict. What's the energy of China and the USA? Blocked, I'm hearing the words trade, blocked, moving away from. So right now I'm just doing card pulls where I'm looking at the energy of the cards. Moving away from a block of trade. There is a movement away from a certain block that was put between US and China's trade. Major shift, major world shift, major an ending, a major ending, and this is past. So something was ended between the US and China already. This is giving me a past vibe, like a catch-up. Like we don't really know that a lot of the drama we see is actually past drama. They're already in negotiation, and this is the high vibrational negotiation. The Chinese elders, this is higher minds, wise ones. My goodness. Okay, there's a message coming in. And I'm being pinged. Spirit's pinging me. Just a few weeks ago, the Chinese elders came to America on vacation. But they secretly, according to Simon Parks and a source that I follow, they secretly were meeting with the T administration, the current U.S. administration. They came to America. And I forgot about that. And now what Spirit is saying, the deal's already been made. They've already ended something. Woo! The Chinese elders, the true spiritual economic leaders in China, and I don't understand how they do it, but I believe there's Chinese elders and then there's the CCP, okay? This is Chinese elders. This is a high vibrational energy. What is the agreement that they made with Mr. T? This is a moving away from certain blocks in trade that had already been going on between the U.S. and China. And I'm hearing the words for many, many years. So the trade was blocked between the U.S. and China. I'm not sure what that means. Two of fire, forward movement. Ooh, the Chariot card, forward movement, timeline shift because of this meeting or this agreement, this negotiation with the Chinese elders, and a release, a major release of some sort of document, policy, trade agreement. They released something that completely shifted trade between the U.S. and China. Completely ended some major deals, major long-term deals. And this is past. This happened already. Okay, so yes, Shauna, I'm going to ask about that. I want to ask one more question, then we're going to go to the end of the CCP to see if this could be the end. But first, I want to ask, what's the future, or what does this trade deal look like between the U.S. and China? Nine of Fire, protection, preservation, just giving you the energy, controlling money, guarding money, Ace of Earth, new currency, new positive economies. This is just very interesting because it's giving me the vibe and the energy of some sort of collection of coins or collection of assets, defending or preserving assets. I believe China's going Is this China or is this China or is this the US? Thank you. 10 of Fire, an ending. This is a major ending, a deal breaker. A deal breaker of how money was controlled. And I'm getting it's within China. They either ended a certain type of currency or they asset backed a currency, their currency. 3 of Earth. Financial agreements, negativity, despair, regret, Page of Earth. So what this is doing is there was some financial agreements made that actually will weaken some of their currency or their economy. And this is some sort of regret or fear concerning their money. Okay, Spirit. This is getting a little bit confusing because I'm not catching the energy exactly. I think I would need to do a full pull on China to see what this is. It's something about the Chinese elders severing an agreement, and it created some sort of semi-temporary, a temporary regretful financial system, but it's to strengthen their economy. Spirit, what can you tell me about China? Yes. Is this an asset-backed currency? What can you tell me about China that you're trying to tell me here? The Hermit card, this is that secret wisdom, the wise ones, the Page of Water. The Page of Water represents some sort of low quality control or emotion. Messenger of Earth, the banks. Temptation, this is the CCP. Right here, Shauna, this is the CCP. The CCP was in control of the banks. This is in control, the CCP. Backstab, betrayal. Who backstabbed and betrayed? Who's doing the backstabbing, the betraying, or the cutting away? This is that protection energy. So something was severed from the CCP. I believe the Chinese elders ended a document or ended an agreement that gave financial status or stability, the financial control. What I'm seeing is a document or a agreement within China that gave control of the money to the CCP. And that's how the CCP was running their agendas. The military, all the money was flowing through the CCP because of financial agreements made in the past. The Chinese elders cut the cord. They cut the cord and just simply ended those agreements that allowed the CCP to have control of the money. That's what I'm seeing. They took back control. The Chinese elders took back control, at least legally, at least in the eyes of the documents and on paper, you could say, took back control, which then allowed them to be able to negotiate with Mr. T. Does it mean the country of China might still be a little shaky? Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and ask, is this going to be the end of the CCP? Is this the ending? Okay, Spirit wants me to use this deck. Is this the ending of the CCP, Spirit? What does this mean for the CCP? What does this mean? Can you tell me what the CCP is going through right now? Thank you. Wheel of Fortune, major shifts that they cannot control, and they are mad. 5 of Swords. This is anger, fighting, frustration. I'm hearing the words internal fighting, because this is a shift. Whenever you get the Wheel of Fortune, this is a shift that the divine has altered or people have manifested, and it's incoming and it cannot be altered. And this is fighting against it. There's a conflict concerning this divine incoming shift for China, shift for the CCP. Eight of Swords, look at that, slashed away. A lot is being cut away. So I believe the Chinese elders, this is in the past energy, I believe they've already been slashing away at the CCP, causing them to lose control bit by bit, piece by piece. Four of Swords, they've been working and rewriting many documents because they cut a lot of the control of the CCP, and now the Chinese elders are rewriting, revamping, and redoing their documents, but it's being very secretive. It's not being put on the media. The Devil card. We need to clarify this, Spirit. This is the future. This is the future of the CCP. Spirit, what can you tell us about the CC? Is this the ending? They're mad. Seven of Pentacles, secret underground. You know what? I'm going to pause right here to say I am starting a membership. If you are able to actually join me for a membership where we can ask questions uncensored, as I saw in the YouTube chat, it just was deleted again. So go ahead and check out my Global Shift Violet Flame Tarot. And here will be a membership where we will be able to get on a private live. And it's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a private live. And we're going to go down the rabbit holes and ask any questions we want. It's going to be with especially the Sunday live. Okay. Let me go ahead here. This is telling me right here that the CCP has some secret stashes, secret bunkers, if you know what I mean, D-U-M-B, the dumbs. There's some secret stashes of money, and they have secret stashes of military equipment, military power. This is the warpath. I'm sorry to say. The CCP is going, they're not happy. Queen of Cups, Nine of Wands, defensive mode. Three of Swords, betrayal and attack mode. Stabbing, okay. No, this is not the end of the CCP, but I do believe they're going underground, and they will be fighting against the Chinese elders and actively trying to undermine, backstab, and betray the new leaders of China. The CCP will be pulling on their reserves. We send help to China. And I keep hearing the message from Spirit saying, tell them that everything you see on the news with the drama doesn't mean that's what the Chinese elders approve of. You know, I'm seeing that message. This message was not approved by that blah, 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 blah party. It was not approved. It is not endorsed. You know, it's the mainstream media isn't always endorsed by the countries themselves. And it could be CCP propaganda. So what I'm getting here is the Chinese elders made a major turnaround, they took back their economy by changing, asset backing their currency and separating it from the CCP. The CCP no longer has control of the complete currency of China. They no longer have complete control. The CCP is then going underground, and literally in some cases underground, but also going to be starting a covert WAR, a cold WAR, to try to undermine this new leadership of China coming in. Jeez Louise. Does the appearance or involvement of the elders now remove the possibility of their award between USA and China in the next 2 to 10 years? Does the appearance or involvement of the elders now remove the possibility of their award? Now, I'm not sure what you mean by award, but I'm just going to ask Spirit, and hopefully it'll catch up the energy here. And you can clarify that if you want, Shauna. Their award between U.S. and China in the next 2 to 10 years. Spirit, what can you tell us about the involvement of the WAR? Gotcha. We have to be so careful on. Yes, okay, I got you. Spirit, is this involvement of the elders meaning we're safe on an international scale and there will be no WAR? Or are we still in danger? Spirit, what can you tell us? Four of Cups. This is the energy of something's incoming, but it's being ignored. And it's clarified by the Fool, something new on the horizon. But I'm not getting conflict cards. Let's see. Ace of Cups, that would be a yes to your question. To alleviate a WAR. That's a yes, a new beginning. Knight of Cups is healing, safety, forward movement. Eight of Swords is a release or an ending. So this is the future energy. I got you. Thank you, Spirit. Page of Pentacles, new money. New money. The money's being controlled. I believe that the offer or the presentation of a WAR will be on the table. It's going to be offered, but it's not going to have... Spirit, I need clarity. I need clarity because this is something secret. Something secret. What can you tell us, Spirit, about a WAR between U.S. and China in the next 2 to 10 years? Why will you not... No, I won't ask that. I was going to say, why won't you let the message come through? There's something blocking this message. What can you tell us about a WAR between the U.S. and China? What do we need to know? Thank you. A betrayal to mate to a major agreement or a major partnership. And this includes the people or the nation. A major betrayal to groups of people, groups, nations, states. The Tower card, some sort of shocked or terror, terrorism, some sort of attack, a betrayal. This is across the sea, forward movement, an attack overseas. I'm just reading the energies right now. I believe that there is a possible sabotage that's in the horizon between the U.S. and China. Okay. There's a secret plan to create some sort of sabotage or a attack that to start a war. Sorry, I just got major energy coming in. Okay. There is, and we have a stink bug right here on my cards. That's a sign here that someone's in the mix that shouldn't be. So there's an attempt, and there will possibly be an attempt to sabotage a good relationship between President Xi or the Chinese elders and Mr. T, to sabotage it by a T attack on foreign soil, whether it's going to be presented like China did it to the U.S. or U.S. did it to China. Something's going to try to be manipulated to cause a WAR. But we do have the Eight of Swords here, which is it's not going to work. It's going to be an illusion. But I believe it's going to be an attempt to start one. So we're going to hear rumors on the media. Four of Swords, secret, the Lover's card, keeping it a secret from the people, putting the people the people are not going to know the whole story, and it's going to make us very tense and very tight, the Hanged Man. But it will be a possible sabotage to create a WAR. Will it succeed, Spirit? Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Pentacles. This is created by the CCP. Because the CCP, remember that message about they're going to try to sabotage? I believe they're going to try to sabotage a major, somebody's going to try to start a WAR. Nine of Pentacles. It's going to be somebody who has some money, but not a whole lot of money. And they're making the plans right now. It's the plans. They're collecting the plans. Spirit, what can we do? What can we do, Spirit, to alleviate any suffering? 7 of Swords, manipulation, lies, deception. Knight of Swords, this is military activity, and 9 of Swords, stress. Yeah. This is definitely on the world stage. I think we tapped into some energy, Shauna, that is definitely planned. Something's being planned. There's some plans here. There's actual, it's interesting too, because I'm feeling the energy coming up. There's actual plans to begin moving equipment, but it's coming from the CCP. I believe it's going to try to sabotage this growing good agreement between the U.S. and China. I sure hope Canada has nothing to do with this. Yes, and Taiwan will be taken over still. Okay, so let's ask about Taiwan. Spirit, where does Taiwan fit into this trajectory of divine and possible timelines coming up? Is there anything you can tell us about Taiwan? Will it be taken over by China? Will it become independent? What can you tell us? 3 of Swords, the betrayal card, not good, secret betrayal. I think they're operating out of Taiwan secretly. I think this attempt is operating out of Taiwan, which is why China might go in to take it out. This makes sense. So if China or the Chinese elders move to take Taiwan, it's probably because some of the underground bunkers are in there, and the actual attempts, the WAR attempts, locations, DUMs, underground bunkers, they're actually being operated by the CCP there. That's one thing that I'm seeing. You're not the only psychic who has said that. Really? I don't watch other psychics for the most part. I love watching ascension psychics and like seeing that. But the CABA, yes, the CABAL is operating in underground facilities in Taiwan, which I personally feel, this is just my personal opinion, and we can talk more about it on the membership. I do hope to do a live on Sunday where we talk a little bit about the prophecies of the Church of England. But the WAR between Russia and Ukraine, I believe, was all started because they were secret underground bunkers by the CABAL, the dark elite in Ukraine. So it's not just about two nations. It's about internal affairs. That's just my personal opinion. I could definitely do a pull on that. Okay, back to tariffs. So the people of China are in the hands of the Chinese elders right now. It's going to be good for their economies, a little bit shaky for China, but it's going to be good. Is there any other in Odessa? Is that Ukraine? Shauna says in Odessa. So I'm assuming that's some of the underground facilities being controlled by dark elites in Odessa, Ukraine. I did not know that. Okay, Spirit. Overall, are tariffs going to be good for the world? What can you tell us? Overall, are they going to be okay? King of Wands, Mr. T seems to think so. That's the T card right there. Queen of Wands, he's following his intuition. He's following some sort of internal guidance he's receiving. Okay, now we have the Page of Cups coming in. The Page of Cups is something that's immature, low quality, something that's just a little bit easy to control and manipulate, emotionally unstable. So what can you tell us about this Page of Cups? I'm hearing the words, he knows the world is easily controlled. He knows the world is at a tipping point. He knows the nations of the world are easily malleable, like clay, easily formed. That's why he's shooting his shot now. Page of Wands. It's an attempt, an initiation, a shove. It's a forward movement, an inspiration. This is coming from his higher self. This is coming from the Queen of Wands within him, which is intuition, a higher divine blueprint. At the beginning of the live, I saw the Magician card. I saw like ascended cosmic beings that have been wanting to push the issue of tariffs so that nations could redo their currencies and their economic structures. Spirit, what can you tell us about tariffs overall? Is this going to be good for the world? There's going to be a lot of endings, a lot of cuts, a lot of releases. It's going to cause a lot of corruption to be cut. This is the Hierophant card. Major institutions it's not going to be good for major global financial institutions. This was the first message I pulled. I remember it now. My question was, will tariffs create financial stability? And the message came at the beginning of the live, not for major corporations who have been doing things illegally. And once again, it's not going to be good cutting the heads off major governmental structures, corporations, businesses, anything. I'm seeing universities. Major structures of power, it's going to financially topple them because they were so intertwined into the old banking system. It is going to be good for the people eventually. It is going to be victorious. Hope the corruption ends sooner than later in Canada. Hopefully the tariffs will affect the government without affecting common folks too much. Exactly. Because every time I pull on, is this going to be financially good? I get not for the governments, not for the corporations. So let's ask for the people. Yeah, corruption is going to be exposed so much because of these tariffs. Oh, but on the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card, which is the Golden Age. So Spirit, what can you tell us? How is this going to affect the economies of the world and the people? Ace of Pentacles, new economies, new financial structures. How will tariffs affect the middle class citizen? Here's the blockages. The blockages, that which has been blocking people. How will this affect the everyday people? I'd like a bunch of cards. Just lay it out to me, Spirit. Temperance, healing, balance, stability. 3 of Cups, rejoicing, happiness. 9 of Pentacles, financial stability and independence. Knight of Cups, healing for the children, healing for our families, forward movement for our dreams. These are amazing. The Empress card, nations will be happy. So Spirit, when are we going to start seeing some of this celebration, this financial happiness and independence where our children, we feel like they're going to be fed and taken care of. We feel like the nation's economies improve. That's all the messages coming in. Can you give me a timeline, Spirit? Timeline of when we're going to see help to the people. The Emperor card, this represents a year. The Page of Swords. Swords are fast, though. And 9 of Pentacles. This is 9 months. So starting in about 1 week, today, the Page of Swords is like days, like 1 day. We have 9 months and a year. So basically the message is it's starting now. Interesting. I'm really getting something's happening in about 1 week. Now, this isn't for every nation. And of course, Spirit is telling me it tapped in a lot of the energy of different nations. 1 year. That's what that is. 1 year. Within 1 year, 9 months to 1 year. That's what that is. Okay, see, this is the year card, and this is like the one, like tomorrow. But there's no way things are going to start happening tomorrow. So this is 1 year, 9 months to 1 year. We're going to start seeing major changes across most of the world when it comes to the economies balancing out due to tariffs. 9 months to a year, we're going to start seeing major changes. What are these changes going to look like? Is this money in our pockets? Is this low inflation? Is this cheaper prices of food and oil? What is this? Okay, we have the conflict card, the judgment card, the 7 of Cups. Interesting. The 7 of Cups is commodities. Okay, food, oil, gas, water, drinks, rice, corn. That's the commodities of the world. But first, there's going to be a major shakeup in the digital economies of the world, which is going to then change the way the rest of the economies are done. So we're going to see this in the way the digital world is affected by currency. Can you add us more clarity here? Can you give us more clarity? Something about digital. Digital economy is going to get shaken up, but it's going to produce an opportunity for something to rise, and it's going to affect the commodities of the world: corn, oil, gas, food. Queen of Pentacles, the banks are going to change. Many banks are going to change the way they do things. And the banking systems are going to have to get legally sound. This is going to affect the banks and the way the digital economy and the money system works. That's the changes we're going to see, which is then going to produce an end of the control of the commodities, controlling the corn, the rice, the imports. It's going to balance out the oil. The oil industry is going to take a huge revamp of how they do things. So we're going to see, and especially our food and our economic prices. That's what tariff is going to affect for the people. And the major good changes are going to be happening from 9 months to a year and onward. XRP, Shauna says. Okay. She says, can we ask about whether XRP and other specific chosen cryptocurrencies will play a role in sorting out a new international financial system? Maybe even Chinese elders are on board. And are they bringing in a new U.S. currency in relation to this? If so, how many months from now? And then she says, in 12 days, we have our national federal election. Oh, sending you light. Hopefully some big changes will happen at that time. Hi, ethereal worlds. No worries. We're talking about tariffs, and then we're also asking now. So the tariffs are going to bring in a major shift in the digital way banks and the economies do things. Now we're going to be looking at XRP. Will XRP play a role? And there's gonna be some sort of conflict coming in. Something's not going to look good for a little bit before this 9 month shift. And then it's going to shift. Okay, Spirit. Can you tell us about XRP, please? This card came up, Tower. Something's going to shake. The tariffs are shaking up the world. They're shaking up economies. Four of Wands, celebration. So we're pulling on the energy of XRP. Good, 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 good. Celebrate, celebrate. Oh, and then we're going to have a small dip. Nine of Swords, some stress. So I think I'm getting the word hope. Hope in the middle of the stress. XRP is going to be like a glimpse on the horizon of, wait, the world's about to fall. But XRP is going to provide the hope. It's going to provide stability. And I'm seeing the words, a place for currency to fall. Does that make sense? It's like it's going to collect currencies or it's going to be a stability to currencies. It's going to be a foundation for currency. It's going to be a holder of currencies or a stabilizing factor somehow. Knight of Wands. Spirit is letting me know this is your timing. Knight of Wands. I'm seeing weeks, months. You asked about timing. What was your timing question? Are they bringing in a new U.S. currency? If so, how many months from now? Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is the timing card. This is months. No, this is weeks. What can you tell me, Spirit, about this timing you're trying to tell me about? Fast movement. It's going to go fast. Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles. So yeah, weeks to months, we're going to start seeing some of these shakeups in our economy. In between 3 weeks to 3 months, we're going to see the shakeup, and XRP is going to come in strong as a stabilizing factor. Treasury notes. Yes, let's go ahead now and look at the currency here, because there was another question. Is this bringing in a new U.S. currency? Is this shakeup, Spirit, or the tariffs going to bring in a new U.S. currency? Yes or no? If so, can you tell us what's happening? King of Swords, digital, King of Wands. Mr. T is bringing in a new currency. There's going to be it's already there. Four of Swords. It's already secret. It's already there. It's already been established. Past energy, but secret energy. This new currency is already there, but it's digitally based right now. There's going to have to be a tough position. It's in a really tight spot right now. It's not, but it's going to produce a new U.S. current. It's going to produce a good economy in the U.S. Is this physical or is this digital? I'm getting it's digital. Let's see. Okay, it's physical and digital. Wait. Oh, a major ending. Injustice. So somehow our current U.S. currency is somehow illegally being manipulated, and something about our current U.S. currency is going to be ended because of justice and karma. I'm not sure what that means, but there's an ending coming to the U.S. currency. And it's going to be set straight, justified, redeemed, reestablished. Those are all words I'm getting. Reestablished, redeemed, reset, reevaluated, realigned. Something's coming in to like, I'm not sure what I'm seeing. Some say May, some say October. Okay, that makes sense. Betting on XRP here, wondering which will come first. XRP jumps high, or the crash of the current U.S. currency is announced as crash and a new one coming in. Both. I assume it's XRP, Bitcoin, new paper, U.S. Treasury notes. The U.S. currency is currently owned by the non-U.S. Federal Reserve. That's the illegal part. Something about the U.S. currency is illegal and it's not right. And something needs to end and then something be set. Is this going to be the same currency but a new kind? Or is this a brand new U.S. dollar? Two, brand new. 10 of Wands and ending. Okay, this is I saw two currencies side by side, and then a new currency popping up, or not a new currency. One of them rises to the surface and the other one is cut out. So either we have the current US dollar, because I do believe they stopped printing all US money in 2017. You can't find a bill with anything beyond 2017. You can find coins, but you can't find US bills, okay? So nothing's being printed that we can see in our US currency beyond 2017. So it's looking like one currency is going to keep going and another one's going to come up and they're going to go side by side, and then one's going to rise to the surface and one's going to drop off. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that would make sense if the current US bills, our currency, is currently owned by the non-US Federal Reserve, which means it's not technically a US currency, right? That's that injustice. If it's owned by a corporation outside the US as it stands in its new republic status, that means it's an illegal currency, or it's a currency of the old US corporation, because I believe the old US corporation was sold to the Federal Reserve and the international bankers, but Mr. T redid it under a new republic, or our own U.S. elders, that's not a thing, but the white hats redid it under a new republic. So that means we would need new currency. Yeah, we need to take back our currency, take back control of our currency. And that's what tariffs are going to put Mr. T and some of the nations in an ability to do. It shakes the world up just enough to give us an opportunity to reshift, revamp, and redo our own economic financial systems. I never thought about that before, of how if international banks own our currency, that means they're not national currencies. And that goes for any country in the world. Wow. So that means it would be we're operating money that's kind of illegally owned. It's not even a real US currency. Now, I could be wrong. If there's anybody out there that knows more, please put it in the chat. This is just my own little brain doing it. One more question here. Okay, 5 of Swords. There's tremendous energy right now that's trying to prevent a lot of conflict and a lot of WAR. I do believe that we are not in danger here, that a lot of the WARs going on concerning the tariffs are media oriented. They're agenda oriented. This is the lie card right here, the manipulation, the lies. And this is the card of the conflict, but it's all words. It's all verbal and written and digital. And there's a lot of energy being applied to create digital conflict. Internet, WAR, internet drama over the tariffs. But I'm just going to end it here and say, I believe this last message coming in from the Spirit is a lot of what you see is only in the ethers. It's only in the astral. It's only on the screens. From what I pulled of the China and the US, they are okay right now. I believe they will be getting some kickback from the CCP. We send them all the love and all the prayers. We send Canada love and prayers, and a few days they're going to be having their beautiful election. We send them love and light. Will XRP replace the currency people used to suppose would become the joint BRICS currency? Will XRP replace the currency people used to suppose would be the BRICS currency? Or will it be another digital thing? Good question. How are XRP related to the BRICS currency? Are they the same? What will they be replaced? What can you tell me, Spirit? Queen of Pentacles, this is BRICS. 10 of Wands, this is an ending or a heavy, heavy energy. 9 of Pentacles, the independence. Rising up. I did hear the word, immediately I heard the word replace when I saw this. But there is a fight, not a fight, but a rising up, of an overpowering, a superiority. 2 of Wands, I heard the word side by side, but also, again, one rising above the other, one higher. A doorway. BRICS was a doorway. BRICS was a initiation, an initial step. BRICS was a portal, was an energy, was an incoming international forerunner. BRICS was the first steps. Desire. Okay, BRICS has a desire because they're going through a lot of conflict right now in their own way they're doing things with nations. Nothing's quite stable. They have their work, their economy. 3 of Swords. They are being sabotaged. BRICS is being sabotaged. They have a desire to put forth new assets and new economies, but it's not going as they expected. So what I'm seeing is that right now, BRICS is a stepping stone to something that, so is XRP going to come in? Let's just ask that question. Is XRP going to come in? 8 of Wands, fast forward movement, Page of Swords. This is not quite what it said, secret. It's already there, energy. Is XRP going to replace it or support it? Something's not being told. Something's not. Queen of Cups, Chariot card, and the King of Pentacles. I'm not getting a definite answer on that, y'all. I apologize. I would have to say it's not going to replace the asset-backed currency of BRICS. It might go alongside of it and integrate in its system. Yeah, digitally integrate. It sounds like it's already going to empower the BRICS system because the BRICS system needs it. The BRICS system will benefit from it, but the BRICS system is an asset-backed currencies, and they want to be asset-backed. They don't want to replace it. I believe they will integrate it into their systems, and it will strengthen it and negate any kind of corruption that would come in, because I think they're facing a lot of corruption, sabotage, and XRP would strengthen it and eliminate some sort of sabotage. So I'm getting final answer. Final answer is I think it's going to support the BRICS system. It's not going to replace it, though. Maybe BRICS doesn't really have a future. Exactly. Maybe it's just individual countries out for themselves again rather than BRICS versus first world. I do get a separate energy, but I do get a separate energy here. Like it's a stepping stone, a forerunner, a wild idea, but also a much needed thrust forward to get out of the control of the matrix. Is XRP a trap for investors? Okay, it is being manipulated. There is some tower moments that will come to XRP. 6 of Swords. In the end, XRP is not going to be as stable. But right now it's in a tough spot. But there is going to be some tower moments that come to XRP. It will eventually be leaving the scene. Systems and structures, 5 of Swords. Oh my goodness. This is a trap for major organizations. And I have a stink bug crawling all over me. Okay. 3 of Wands. XRP may possibly be a trap for those who want to manipulate through big corporation and big money. And eventually, though, XRP will fizzle out. A transition system until the new US currency becomes stable. Yes. And I do believe it will support certain systems, but then it's going to fizzle out. And certain corporations will feel like they had the rug pulled out from under them. But I think it's going to be for the major corporations. I'm not getting anything so much. Well, everyone has to make their own decision. But the major corporations came in. I think people are going to fight over it. Yes. People are going to fight over it. Okay, everyone. I am going to wrap this up. But first, if you're interested in joining my website, I want to share with you the Global Shift, Violet Flame. I will be rebranding my title. Somebody pointed out to me that the word news could be attracting the bots on my channel. So I'm going to be renaming it to the Violet Flame. It's already called World News Tarot / the Violet Flame, but I'm going to put it just world, and I'm going to put the E to a 3 so it catches the algorithm. And then about a week, I'm going to just name it the Violet Flame. I'm going to leave my icon up there. I also am starting. Please head over in the comment section to my membership. It's only going to be $9 a month. And I am doing the Violet Flame Tarot Global Shift Forecast. I will be doing uncensored live streams, down the rabbit hole questions. Clairvoyance Tarot will bring in the Ascended Masters. And what we're going to be doing is all those questions, such as at the end of Sunday Live. So we're going to go onto this website and go to a private stream, and we can ask all the questions about King Charles, Nostradamus. We can ask about the CABAL. I'm really being called. Spirit wants me to do a live on reptilians and the Queen, and go into some deep in some of the astral entities as well. Spirit really wants me to go into the C3 letter agencies. There's some major shifts coming to that. And then, of course, I will be doing those private live streams on Sunday. Now, I'm going to start on YouTube. So you'll see me on YouTube on the Sunday Live. But then I am going to be switching to a private live stream and answering some of those hard questions where I don't have to say Mr. T to trigger the algorithm. If you're interested in that, go ahead and join me there. Yes, next Sunday, I'm going to be doing Nostradamus, and we are going to be doing I believe on the Church of England. Yeah, that's going to get intense. The Church of England, the Pope, and the Catholic Church. So come there, come one, come all, get your questions ready. I will see you there. Again, I will be rebranding, and I'll still be on YouTube and Rumble, of course. If you can't find me, you can always find me at thevioletflame.net. If my channel should go down, you can find me on thevioletflame.net. That's the YouTube. You can sign up for free as a free subscriber to my emails. You can join my membership, and we're going to go into the deep dive questions as well. I'm also going to be on Rumble, and I'm revamping my Rumble channel. That's going to be called The Violet Flame as well. So if you want to subscribe to that, that is not censored. So I will see you there. Whew, a lot going on, all because of YouTube bots. Yes, I'm just starting to go on Rumble. I'm trying to work the two systems. I think I went live on Rumble, but I'm not sure. So we're going to have to find out. I'll have to upload it after the fact if I didn't go live. But Have a wonderful week. I'll see you all Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you next time. Bye.